Hey, what's going on? Sorry about the technical difficulties. I was struggling to get this PowerPoint presentation uploaded. So, sorry about the couple minutes delay there. But before we get started, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video, and subscribe to our channel, man. We're looking to add those numbers up. So, I wanted to get into this first because this is something that people have been asking me about. And I know a lot of people tend to, have an easier time passing the smaller accounts when it comes to prop firms and have a hard time, passing the bigger accounts. So I was like, you know what? I want to make a presentation, have a discussion about it. And then from there, we can, definitely talk about it. So here we go. Let's get started. Passing an Apex Trading 300K evaluation account. I chose this account because, it is the biggest account that they have. And when you really, really dig deep into it, like I personally think that these accounts are meant to fail. I don't think it's meant for you to necessarily pass, or they're definitely looking for people that are skilled traders. And that's what it takes to pass these accounts, especially the bigger accounts, because the profit margins are extremely big for you to kind of get to. So let's do a quick overview here. So understanding Apex Trader funding requirements, we're going to talk through that, trading rules, all of those different things. We're going to talk about the basics of making sure that you build a key strategy. And then, we'll kind of go into, some important information and just kind of talking through some things that you just need to make sure that you're doing, especially from a mindset standpoint, right? All right. So let's jump right into this. This is the basics of the basics, right? And so I need you to really just look at this and understand this. And we're going to go through this pretty slow, right? So for Apex for a 300K account, the goal is to achieve a profit of $20,000, right? Minimum days of trading is 7. So what does that mean? Minimum days of trading that you can reach the 20K within 7 days. 7 days, a week, 2 days. It doesn't have to be consecutive, but it has to be 7 days of trading. That's the soonest that you can pass the combine. You could take 2 weeks, you could take 3 weeks, you could take 3 months. It doesn't really matter. But you got to hit the 20K in the minimum of 7 days trading. All right. For the 300K account, the trailing threshold is set at 7,500. 7,500. 7,500, right? Look at that. You got to get 20,000 in profit, but you can only, have a trail of 7,500. All right. What exactly does that mean? What that means is you can't lose more than $7,500, right? Duh. But the next step of that, of course, is you can't have a drawback of $7,500. So that's when it gets a little bit dicey and a little bit tricky, right? And I'm going to give you an example. So say today you started trading and your account was at $7,500, right? You're in a trade. Your take profit is 2,500, right? So your take profit is 2,500, which would, if you hit, right, it would be at 10K. Say you only hit 2,000, right? So your account is at 9,500. Say you don't trade. You don't close out the trade. It comes back, goes against you, right? And you lose $1,000. Your account is still sitting at now 9,500. That's your starting point of your threshold, right? Because you went to 9,500 and then you pull back to 6,500. So I need you to understand that you're already 3K against your threshold. Y'all still with me? Let me explain that again. Break it down a little bit more. You're at 7,500. You start the day. You're in a trade. Your goal, take profit, right? It's 2,500 in that trade, which would put you at 10,000. You don't reach it. It gets to 2,000, but you don't take any profits. So now that number is 9,500. But it goes against you, and now you subtract 1,000 from your account. So now you're sitting at 6,500 right now. 3,000 is going against you, right? So now, what does that mean? If you happen, you see what I'm saying, to lose another 4,500, which will put you at 2,000, you're done. Now, you started at 7,500 for the day, but now it's at 2,000. Accounts blown. You're out of here. Reset. Got to start all the way over. I don't know if people understand that rule right there to the fullest, but that's a big one. That's a huge one, because you might be looking like, I started off the day with 7,500 and I'm at 2,500. That should only be, technically what most people would think, a drawback of 5,500. I still have 2,000 and I'm still in the game. So it shouldn't go against me, right? No. That's how that trail is. And that's how they play it. So you have to understand leveraging money. You have to, right? Which we're going to be talking about, scaling in the future. So that's going to be a topic to kind of help, especially when it comes to this. I don't know how you really pass these combines, especially the bigger ones, without having a scaling rule. We'll talk about that, get into that on another one. Okay. Now, this is where it gets extremely funny for me. Contracts. So trading guidelines. Maximum contract limits for a 300K account is 35 minis and 350 micros. I don't think y'all, if you don't know how much that is, that's crazy to be able to trade 35 contracts. And if you're trading it out the gate, you playing roulette. You really rolling dice. That's all you're doing. You're crapping, man. You're playing craps, because are you leveraging that type of, you leveraging that many contracts at one, you're destined to fail, right? You're destined to fail. And not only that, if it is a winner, going to the next part is where it's going to hurt you. One trade cannot be more than 30% of target. So if you have all these contracts, and you trade and it even hits, that's going to count against a rule. Once again, you see what I'm saying? I'm not saying they want you to fail, but they making it real hard for you to pass. You feel me? They making it real hard for you to pass. One trade cannot be more than 30% of target. 20K. What's 30% of 20K? 6K. You have to slow roll this thing. This is the only way you're going to show that in their eyes that you're a consistent trader. You have to slow roll it. You can't just boom, nice trade, especially the way the market is right now in futures, especially ES. If you trade ES, NQ, S&P 500 futures, NASDAQ futures, if you trade either of those, you can literally hit a 30-point swing right now. It's crazy, the volatility that's going on right now. It's nuts. So thinking about having all them type of contracts, you'll be done in one trade. So they don't know if you're able to trade. But I think it's really for once you become profitable, you pass the evaluation and then you're making money to be able to build your account. And as you build your account, continue to, being able to add contracts. That's the only way that makes sense. I would not jump out the gate I wouldn't even do more than 5. contract, especially during this volatile, time right now, with the markets. More than 5 is you destined to, yeah, you trying to blow your account. You really are. You don't care. You can't care, right? So next, showing consistency. I'm drilling this in the head and I'm talking about it. Consistency, consistency, consistency. You want to be able to create a plan, stick to that plan, and don't deviate. Show consistency and discipline. Super, super simple, super, super easy. All right. Key strategies for success. Once again, if you would definitely like to come in and learn as far as key strategies a little bit more in depth, we're here for you. You can reach out. You can leave us a comment below. Let us know that you're interested in learning how we trade. We'll definitely set you up. But develop a solid trading strategy. Have a well-defined trading strategy with clear entry and exit points before you take a trade. You should know where you're getting in. You should know how much you're leveraging, and you should know where you're getting out. You should not be taking willy-nilly trades. I know some people just like to, jump in and out. I know some people like to scout. I see flipping ticks. You only scout the account in intraday. I'm not big in scalping. I actually used to scout. I don't even understand how I used to do it. Now as I've kind of gotten a little bit better in the game, it used to kill my emotions because I was over trading. I was taking way too many trades, and in the evaluations, I think that it'll be a little tougher. This is just my opinion. I think that you should, clock your trades, where you're getting in, how much you're looking to leverage, and where you're looking to, either scale out or take profits, and stick to that plan. Do not double down, triple down. Like, no, it's going to turn. Just take your L. You know what I mean? Stick to your plan, take the L, and then find the next available trade that fits your plan. So develop that trading strategy. And as I'm just talking about it, risk management. You got to prioritize your risk. That's big. For instance, I like to take 2-to-1 trades. So what does that mean? I'm looking for 3,000, and leveraging 1,500, 2-to-1, right? If I take the L, I lost 1,500. If I get the win, I'm looking at, 3,000. Boom. Easy example. Because for me, that helps keep me in the game, right? So if I take a trade, take an L, boom, I'm down 15, right? If I take another trade, but it's a winner, now I'm up 15. See what I'm saying? It helps me, litigate risk and stay in the game and keep trading. So make sure that you're doing that. Make sure you have your stops, because also, not having stops, you never know what could happen. Somebody could say something, some news could drop, and the markets will go crazy sometimes, where it could drop or go up, 40, 50 points just to swing back down, and go against you, and you have a hard time, getting back to it. So always put your stops on, leverage what you're willing to lose, and be comfortable with it. You have to get comfortable with your plan. Have discipline. Oh my goodness. Hey, I raise my hand. I've had that issue, with patience and discipline, where me personally, one of my biggest issues was, I'm a little bit better now, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people have this issue, is that when you take a loss, it's like somebody, being in a boxing ring and somebody knocks you down. Your immediate reaction is, I got to hit you back, right? Somebody hits you, I got to hit you back. Instead of, taking the emotion out, I took a L. It is what it is. Let me really assess what's going on here, see what the markets is doing, and then take a calculated risk again, right? All about that calculated risk, being disciplined, being patient. If you watch any of the previous videos, I spoke like a lot of trades for me is like 5. And typically I don't like taking 5 trades because that means I probably took an L or two. So that means I'm trying to come back and dig my way, out of a hole that I've created, for myself. I don't like to take that many trades personally, but that's just me. That's how mentally wired I am. So I make sure that I pick and choose my trades, my entries, and how I do it, right? Knowing these rules, right? We just went over the rules on the previous page. You have to understand the rules. You got to pay attention to what you're doing and where you are, as far as, your P&L. And I know people say you don't want a P&L watch, and I get that, but you're trying to pass an evaluation as well. So you kind of got to watch it, you know, and make sure that are not hitting your stop for the day. That's another big thing that you need to make sure that you have and stick to it. The drawback is 7,500. What are your percentages as far as, your days? Hey, if you are, say, out of the week, you average 3 good days and 2 bad days, right? If that's you, then you probably want to have it around that 1,500 to 2,000 range. 2,000 max. 2,000 max. I wouldn't even have it that high. It'll be more or less the 15. But also it depends on, what's your profit margins as well too, what you typically average. So if you typically average 3K and in your winning days, and you typically average 1,500, your losing days, you have that 2-to-1 range. So it always keeps you, great, because if you have 3 great days and 2 bad days in a week and you stand disciplined to your plan, you're going to continue to, slowly progress to that 20,000 mark. Right. So you got to know the rules, as far as news goes. There's no issues with news. You definitely have to make sure you just close the your trades out in the evening by 5 o'clock. So you want to make sure you're out of the trade. Don't stay in no trades. You can blow the account. They don't have, I think they used to though, but not anymore. They don't have any news related that you can't take a trade within 5 minutes. I know some kind of have that, as well. So there you go. Know the rules, understand the rules, create the strategy around the rules, and you're going to be great. And what I would do is I would start practicing. So once you prioritize your strategy and knowing the rules, prioritize your strategy, I would practice. You can go into a demo account before you start trading. I know Apex, Flipping Tick say he do Top Step. So I know Top Steps has it. But, if you get those accounts, I know they have demo accounts where you can trade, practice before you actually go live. So long as you have an account with them, you can trade and sim. So I would definitely practice, make sure you feel comfortable, with the rules set up, and practice for a week or two, and then jump right in it from there. Unless you've been trading, for a while, then, you probably could jump into it. But even if you've been trading a while, you still want to make sure you understand and know those rules, because them rules are super, super tricky. And from my understanding too, there's people that's been trading and they struggle, trying to follow the rules, because it kind of puts them in a box. And some people don't like being in that box, as they trade. So you got to make sure that you know the rules, you have your strategy, right? Set up your sim account, practice, right? And understanding, man, that trading involves significant risk, and there's no guarantees in profit. I know, it's kind of, people say it's like gambling, or playing poker, but there's some very successful people playing poker. It's just all on how you do it. You want to take calculated risk and understand that. Once you start to understand that piece, I think that trading gets a whole lot better, and understand it's you versus the market. You have to get it together and know what it is that you're doing and what you're trying to achieve. Be confident in your abilities and stick to your plan. Stick to your plan. Stick to your plan. You want to make sure that you get educated? We're here for you. We're going to teach you. We're going to show you how we look at the markets, how we set up our levels. I'm not sure if y'all was paying attention last week, but a lot of levels we called out got touched. A lot of levels we called out got touched, and they was extremely big winners. I mean, we was calling them out to the T. It was crazy. I'm like, woo, this is wild how great of a day it was, as far our week it was in the markets, especially last week. And this is a beautiful thing too about trading futures, right? Whether the market's up or down, you can get in where you fit in. As we see, the market is continuously, trading down. If you ask me, I definitely think, they don't want to call it a recession, but I think we are in a recession. But for whatever reason, they don't want to call it that. We're losing a lot of jobs. Market is going down. People are going to start feeling it, in their pockets big time. It's starting to happen, but people once again don't want to call it that. Hey man, we got to start learning how to do different things so that way it helps us in the future as we become better. But this is one, man. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that doing these things are easy. It takes time. It takes discipline. It takes learning. I buried myself in books for the last couple of years, to learn. I have a mentor who actually we do this together. He has some prior engagements, so it's just me today. But it's tough and it takes time. Some people it takes longer than others, just being honest. But if you stick to it, it'll definitely work out, and you get to reaching your goals. The goal should be to start off making a couple $100 a week, and then being able to build your account. Steady growing, steady growing, steady growing. Take your time. It's like climbing a mountain, right? Just keep going up, keep going up, keep going up. Slow and steady. You'll get to the top eventually. All right, man. I think I've hit my time limit for the day. But, y'all can always reach out to us once again, man. If y'all want me to create a little bit more, and I know eventually y'all want us to get into the strategies that we use and that we're currently doing. We want you guys to understand, the basics first. And then also, one thing that we'll definitely start talking about is acronyms. As y'all notice, I try not to talk in acronyms because I don't want to talk over anyone's head. But I'm going to start sharing with you guys some acronyms that you should know that's going to also help you. So that way, when someone is talking about the markets, you're not lost in the sauce and you're right there with them. But man, make sure to give us a like, thumbs up. Make sure to turn them notification bell on so that when we go live, you're always notified. And until the next one, man, I'm not gonna do a market recap today. I could. Pretty much most of the markets went down again. As they've been going down pretty much for the week. But I want to make sure that we don't take too much time when we're doing these, so that way we can keep you engaged. But also, if you really get a lot out of us talking about the markets every single day in the capacity of showing you the levels that we're looking at, once again, make sure to like, make sure to send us a comment. We're here to help you guys get to your next level, achieve your goals. And always, peace and blessings. Until the next time, thank you guys for tuning in. And then now we have that awkward end where y'all got to look at my face for an extra 10 seconds. You know what I'm saying? And I got to